going on? What's going on? Heavy episode tonight. You already know, man, it's Robb Barber podcast going on. Robb Barber Talk. All media platforms, YouTube, fox99.com, of course. All my social media is Robb Remedy on Instagram and on Facebook at DJ Remedy Independent and Prince. I got my mans. We've known each other since 2003. Definitely a lot of history, a lot of great work, a lot of accomplishments that have been done for the city, time and time again. Rob, man, what's going on, man?
Right. What's cracking like on you?
Look, man, this is gonna be a different type of podcast. You know what? Because last podcast I did, I asked questions because I was inspired by the last person I did.
Remedy. It's gonna be your most viewed podcast
ever. It's gonna be better than 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine, you're, and I had to make this so special, right? I had to bring a drink. I had to bring a drink. It's, you know, not our usual Henny. You know, it is summertime, so I'm gonna rock with Diddy on this one.
Oh, okay.
I'll do the summer colada. I heard it's pretty good.
I'm with that.
You know?
I'm with that.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, listen, it's not on ready shower, but I'm with it.
Okay. And I heard you can drink it straight.
Okay.
On the rocks, I heard on the rocks is pretty good.
Alright.
Let's have a couple drinks, man. So look, while I started these drinks, man, I wanted to ask you, man, it's for the people, because this podcast is basically about, you know, letting people know their struggles and because everybody goes through everyday struggles, man. But you know, the internet, I feel like they don't have enough inspiration. There's people that's inspiration out there, but we also have a lot of that negativity. I remember we were talking earlier, Rob. Just let people know, man, how Money Gang started, how the culture started here.
Well, it pretty much started. I was a college student at Fayetteville State University, the best HBCU on earth, should I say first. But I was a college student there, and I had got into like throwing some parties. I was doing dolo, I was just doing a couple of parties or whatever. And but I was gambling real hard too at the time. And I met a guy named they call him Jason Coles now. So I can just stick to the script, and you know, Jason Cole was running around with my man Spunk, aka Spunk Danny Dollars. You know, currently serving Fed time right now. But I met with Mike. Me and him was hanging out so many days a week, just gambling and stuff. You know, like gambling to the wee hours of the morning. Me and him just started kicking it on a daily basis. So after we kicking it on a daily basis, then it just turned into a friendship. And then after a friendship, then we started getting money. And as we started getting money, then I was sitting at home one day watching, I'll be watching stuff like it comes on CNN and different type of news outlets, and there was a show called The Money Game. But it was kind of similar to just a regular news show. There was two guys, and they were just consistently talking about money. And the very first thing I thought about was me and Mike. So I jacked the name Money Game, and now we're known as the infamous Money Game. That's written on the shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget about the chain either.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna talk about that in a little bit too.
Yeah, that's on the chain. You know, but for lack of a better term, man, we just all brothers. You know. It's about 10 of us. We're all brothers. We all run together. We've been running together since we was young, and we try to keep it as real as possible with each other. You know, like we do add people every now and then. As you see, Izzy got his chain.
Yeah, man.
You know,
I was so happy for him, man. I was happy for him. You know, like I felt like it was a Rockefeller moment for a second. Word up.
Right. I mean, we try to. Everybody who's loyal to us, we try to be loyal to them.
Yes.
You know, and we don't necessarily got to get money with them. You know, it's more of a movement than it is about money. You know, if we can create a good cohesive environment around us with positive, like-minded individuals, then we can move to the next level. You know, whatever the next level is. You know, because I guess some would be satisfied with the lifestyle that any one of us live, you know? So, I mean, that's what it is right now, you know? And we got we have so many different people who do different things. Like, you know, you got myself, I got a paint and body shop, you know, and do parties. You have another one of us that is an administrator, you know, and he does parties. And then you have another one of us that is a trash truck driver, and he does investments. Then you got another one that does real estate. And, you know, we got different, you know, then you got another one that don't do nothing, absolutely nothing. But he's a brother, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but he's a brother of ours, you know.
And I bet you the minute you call him, he's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah,
He's ready to go.
Yeah. The majority of them are ready to rock and roll, and they on go mode at all times.
Right.
But you know, we not kids no more, you know. So being that we're not kids no more, then we don't even think in the same mind state, you know. Like, you know, like everything that we're doing is either we're gonna be trying to give back to the community, or make a couple of dollars, or support our family. And most of the time, it's all three in the same at one time.
What school did you go to?
I went to. You want me to tell the full length?
No, you just tell them. Just tell them the main one.
All right. Well, I mean, then I have the name too. Still.
Okay.
I went to E. Smith, and I graduated from Westover. I was actually kicked out of E. Smith in my senior year within the last 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. Just a regular fight, you know. You know, and I was kicked out of school. What's up, Mr. McAllister? That's a gentleman that kicked me out of school. I still love Mr. McAllister, but he actually affected my life by kicking me out of school. So when you look through the record books of E. Smith for senior year, I'm not there.
Oh.
But I was there.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And then at the E. Smith?
I went to Westover.
Westover. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Like, what was one of the main accomplishments that you can remember that not just helped you, but not only that helped you, but also helped your team and the community?
My thing is, it's not one thing individually. You know, like from the times, like if I could throw a free party, that's cool.
Yeah, or as a group. Yeah, or as a group. Yeah.
Right. You know, like if I could do a free party all the time, that's cool with me. Or the ones that I have done, that was cool. Being able to give back, that's cool. And a lot of things that we do, we try not to even tag our name on it, you know? I mean, to me, it's better to give anonymously than it is to, you know, because it's almost like you're trying to show off.
I just learned that too. I just learned that. Like, I see a lot of people on social media. I ain't trying to put nobody on blast, but I see where, I just donated such and such to here.
Yeah, man, I ain't really too cool with that. You know, like, me personally, whatever I do give, and it don't matter whether I'm giving it to a person or giving it to an organization, whatever, I really don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm giving it out of love. Take it out of love. You know what I'm saying? I don't really need no high fives.
Right.
You know, I always look at it like, God blessed me to be able to do certain things. So I would like to bless another person or another company to be able to do certain things. And I'm not even in a position that I would want to be in or that I'm trying to be in, but if I can bless somebody else, then that's cool, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I really just started getting like this within the last maybe 2 years, maybe, you know?
It's probably been like 6 months for me just learning about not bragging so much, because, you know, social media is pretty bad for me, you know what I'm saying?
Social media is bad for you.
Yeah, it's bad for me. You know, I calmed down a lot. But something good happened to me at work, but I ain't even like posting or nothing. I just, I humble down and say, still a lot more work to do. Just keep going.
And well, you know that social media is definitely a gift and a curse.
So you've been here all your life, born and raised?
Nah.
Born and raised.
Originally, my whole entire family is from Philly. That's why, I'm an Eagles fan. I don't know whether y'all heard about that. It's always Bird game. Always Bird game. But we ended up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, because my granddad, rest in peace, Papa. My granddad actually moved here and wanted to get us out of the city. So this was where they moved to. My granddad, my grandmother, and then me and my brother came Me, my brother, my mother, my dad was still in England at the time. You know, so we ended up in Fayetteville, man. And I mean, I love the 2-6. Like, other people love it, but I really love it. It don't matter where I go, what city I'm in. I never tell them, like, you know, I never go with the story, hey, yeah, you know, I'm from up north. No, I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Fayetteville City, 2-6. That's what I explain to people.
Can we get Jason Cole on that same level? Texas.
Nah, but you know, like he originally from Texas.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the plugs in real quick. Make sure you follow him at Jason Cole on Facebook.
Right.
At Robb Barber on Facebook.
Right.
And just watch the Facebook wars go down.
Right. Hey, listen, for the people who don't really know us,
yeah,
they would think that we're not friends. You know, like the way that we go at each other. But that's a genuine, like,
yeah, it's genuine.
These are conversations that I don't shift for the internet. You know, like if I'm pissed with him and I say, man, you want some, you know, like, that's how I feel that day.
Yeah.
And if he says something in return, I'm gonna respond to how I feel that day.
Yeah.
You know, and then later on, I will tell the world, like, nah, that's like my brother, man. I don't play.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we family.
The days of Club Deja Vu.
Right.
Odyssey 2000.
The Palladium. Right.
Yeah.
Even before that, when we was doing Club Hypnotic with my man Rob Moss. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had the city in a chokehold at this time. You know, like anything that was going on, we was definitely a part of it. Shout out to my man L. You know what I'm saying? Like, and me and L didn't even, and most people don't know this either, like, L didn't even rock with me when I was when I very first started. You know who rocked with me? Yep. L could not damn stand me, and he for surely hated Mike. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, and these are just facts. You know, like, but as we grew older, me and L grew closer. You know, I be looking at the people who really did like clubs and different things around here. And me and L be the last of the Mohicans. Half of these people were not nowhere around. Like they came up later on. You know.
You never seen him like in the limelight. You know, he's always by the door. He's handling business. He's handling business.
That's a fact.
He's handling business.
That's a fact, and that's my dog too. You know, like any young black male that does good business, I be with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't care what realm we in. You know, like, man, you know, you can wash cars like my man Travis Melvin. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Big Hurt. Yeah. You know, like you can wash cars like him. You know, like, and that, if you're doing good business, you're doing good business. It don't matter what it is. Right. You know? And I mean, I'm just one of those people who are appreciative of that because people want to see us doing bad. Right. You know?
And I'm glad we get into that. So now that we are talking about business, let's talk about new classic painting body, man. How did that come about, man?
Alright, well, that was a family business that was my wife's family always had that. Okay. You know, before I got involved, it was about 30 years in.
Wow, I know that.
Most people don't know.
30 years?
Yeah.
They here in Fayetteville, or? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. There's about 30 years in before me.
Okay.
You know,
you talking about your family?
No, my wife's family.
Oh, your wife's family. Okay.
Right. You know, like this, they had that when I had the Palladium.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, just think about the years. You know, they go by. So you know, like in the '90s, they had, you know, like it was called Classic Painted Body. It was called Classic Painted Body. You know, and they had it for a very long time. You know, I mean, I didn't think that that my direction in life would have me in a shop. I thought it was gonna be a superstar. I promise you. Like it was a toss up of
like a Diddy.
I was gonna be bigger than that, man. Like
No, but I know. I'm just talking about like that type of
right. You know, like man, I had a whole formula that I was gonna live by.
Wow.
And you know what changed that formula?
Family.
She did.
Yeah.
I mean, because she became more important then.
Yeah.
You know, she became more important. My children became more important.
Yeah.
You know, like I could have been anything I wanted to be, but I got to be what I wanted to be. You know, like other people, they're shooting for something different. You know, like me and my dogs, we always make jokes about God's plan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I have my own plan, but this is God's plan. You know, I didn't know choosing her would end me where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? But
I bet you're happy though.
Oh yeah, like of course, like I'm always happy with my family situation. You know, business could always be better, but my father-in-law taught me a lot, you know, about business, and he put me on to something that I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I went through a lot of trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to work downtown. You know that? You know what I'm saying? I went through trials and tribulations. Trials and tribulations. Where they would joke with me. You know what I'm saying? Joke on me, not with me. Joke on me on social media, and they thought it was over. They wanted, like I tell you, like they want to see you down. You know? And I went through. You know, I wasn't even, and my wife is a nurse. I wasn't even making $50 a day, man. And and this is after the Palladium. This is after all the money gang. I'm talking about as a certified grown adult. I wasn't even making $50 a day. Wow. And this was during the time they was dragging me on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I wasn't even making $400 a week. Wow. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like people be thinking that your life is all easy. You know what I'm saying? But I remember I wasn't working downtown no more. Then when I wasn't working downtown no more, I was man. And shout out to my dog TT, man, because me and him talk about stuff like this.
My bad. Just let them know what was you doing downtown. Just let them know.
I was a probation parole officer downtown in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I did not get a job here. I actually got a job like out by VA, and took a transfer back here when my middle son was born. And I got a job down here, and I used to be in the office in the supervisors and stuff like that.
Rob, hold on 1 second, man. Before we get into that, I want to go outside real quick because I want them to see the cars that you got outside right now. And the way I be going at it right now, we get into the real. Let's go outside.
But they not nothing special. They just mine.
Alright.
And I don't owe nothing on them, so I'm okay with that.
Okay. Alright. I want the people to see the actual cars, you know what I'm saying, that came out of here.
I painted that one myself.
Oh wow. Step outside for a second because this is getting good right here, man. I'm getting to the real right now. Right now, you're currently watching and tuning into the Robb Remedy podcast, Robb Remedy Talk. Like I said, I got my man Robb Barber, owns the all-new classic paint body shop. Like he just said, 30 years this business has been ran, and by his wife, and he chose to go this route. You know what I'm saying? Because of his wife. And we just got into the struggle situation where after the Palladium, this was the clubs like back in 2003, 2004, and business in the nightlife was great.
I mean, when I say great, it was great.
Great.
Like, hey, listen. I remember. This is no lie, and this is a story that I be telling people, right? Me and L was the first people to bring Gucci Man to Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yes, I remember.
Right? Listen, and the show didn't make a lot of money, right? I had the option to let my money ride and carry on to the next show. Guess who the next show was?
Lil Wayne applied.
Jesus. It was right there. The only song that Gucci had out at that particular time was So Icy.
Yep. And you know, like, and I had a chance to let my money ride. You know what I said? And I regret it till today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said, man, ain't nobody going to see Jeezy. We don't even know him. That was before Jeezy had came out. He didn't have it didn't have, none of that was out. Not even We Are the Streets, none of this, like,
not even Came Snowman?
None of this was out yet. None of this was out. You know, the only thing that was out was he was a guest on So Icy. You know, like, you know, he was a guest appearance on So Icy. Yep, you know what I'm saying? But the show at that time, the show that I made the most money on was Lil Boots. Yep, me, Jason Cole, L, and a dude named Mike Sanders. You know what I'm saying? And we hit him for about 80 bands. Ray J ended up showing up. Lloyd ended up showing up. You know, like everybody was just coming through. This is a small city called Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Listen, this was an era where people was like, it was like we was in Charlotte. I'm talking about what I was just saying earlier. Lil Wayne, Plies came through, Jeezy came through, Gucci came through, Lil Boosie. I mean, and even Wale came. That was one of the last.
And the thing is, I give everybody. We brought Rick Ross. But I give everybody their props. Like, I don't want people to think that I be on, like, you know, like when you get in front of a camera, oh, it's infamous money gang this, infamous money gang that. It wasn't like I have a team with me that rock with me. You know, whether it's L and Unc, whether it's Jason Cole and the rest of the infamous money gang, whether it's my man Robb Barber, like, I got people who genuinely rock with me. Or whether it's my father-in-law. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have people who genuinely rock with me, and it's all about building good relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? So many people, they'll burn a bridge because they don't got to cross it no more right now. I don't burn no bridges, man. You know what I'm saying?
Because you might need them.
Man, it ain't no you might. You definitely gonna need these bridges. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you never know who knows such and such. You know what I'm saying? So you make sure you keep them relationships good. I ain't telling you to, you know, like, to kiss ass or nothing like that. But you gotta make sure that you keep those relationships good. It's business. At the end of the day, it's all business. You know what I'm saying? People can get however personal they want to, but it's all business. And anytime you add a dollar, it turns into business. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to stop somebody from feeding their family or try to, you know, put a chokehold on their situation and what they're doing, what you think they're gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what you know, like, yeah, man.
Not gonna rock with you.
Yeah.
They're not gonna rock with you.
That's
okay,
a fact.
So back to that parole officer situation. You saying that you was the youngest black male at the parole office
in Cumberland County. I was the youngest black male at the time. I think I might have been 26. You know, like, at that particular time. You know, like, we had younger women that was working in there, younger black females, but I was the youngest black male that was there. You know, and the only time that they interacted with another young black male, the person was on probation. You know, so, you know, they was on probation or on parole. So imagine everybody, you know, like, and this is not no disrespect to white people, but imagine everybody that surrounded you that's in charge is white. You know what I'm saying? The only interaction that they ever have with another black young male is when they telling them what to do. But I'm in a position where you can't really tell me what to do. You can advise me of my job. You know? So, you know, like, you dealing with that. They used to be having conversations about, like, how can I afford certain things? You know, like, you know, I used to give them rides to the courthouse. You know, the office ain't, you know, like, it ain't the same place. You know, like, the office is one place and then the courthouse is another place, right? So I used to give, like, my supervisor rides, you know, like.
Where'd you get this from?
They would, if they were in my back, you know, like they would get into one of my vehicles. At the time, I think I had an Acura or like a Denali or something like that. I can't remember.
I remember that.
But they would get in the back, and if they saw like Gucci sneakers on the back seat, they were like, "Hey man, how do you afford this? You know, like, you don't get paid what we paid." And I'm talking about like 2007 or something like that, like I discussed. You know, like, we're legitimately talking about. I think I was making like 44 before any kind of tax or any overtime or anything like that, and we would get overtime. That wasn't no big deal, you know, like that was at that particular time. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I mean, just I was making that, you know, but at the same time, like, they hated me being there. You know, like, who really want the young bebop kid there? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, like the young bebop kid who really only took this job to make a difference. Mm-hmm. They don't want me there. Mm-hmm. And that's like, people can tell me all different types of stuff. I was there. I lived it. That's a fact. They didn't want me there. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then not only did they not want me there, you got to realize that I'm also in those hallways. You ever go to court? You ever been to court? All right. So you know how, right? So you know how when you go to court, even if it's something minuscule, right? Everybody comes up, they stand in front of the judge, and you have all these officers and people dressed in suits, and you think they're attorneys, but you really don't know. Right. But they all off to the left-hand side. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And they all be in the courtroom, right? Well, a lot of them are probation officers that have something to do with the court system, pretty much. Okay, you know? So in the back hallways, those conversations that we aren't usually privy to, I was privy to those. And I used to hear the exchange of attorneys to attorneys and see how they pretty much put in a mash on people based upon dollar amounts.
Wow. Like a bid.
I mean, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, who wants the young black dude that they know throw parties, and you know, like, and hang out with the people who they bidding on, as we, you know, like we use as a term,
making a decision, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You know, like, you don't want me doing that.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I can remember one time, right? I was in a courthouse, right? One of my best friends that I grew up with, his name is Sean. I'm in the courthouse. Sean was there for a sister, you know, like a sense of, you know, like gets into trouble from time to time, you know, same age as me, you know what I'm saying? But Sean was there for his sister, and me and Sean, you know, I'm in my suit, I'm dressed in my suit. I walk up, me and Sean talking, you know, what's the regular thing when we do, right?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
So I get a call from my supervisor on my cell phone that tells me, and like after this is 10 minutes later, I get a call from my supervisor. She tells me, come to the office. You know what I'm saying, when you get a chance, right? Now, and I don't know what it's for. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that I did something. So I show up to the office or whatever, and when I show up to the office, she says, I think that you're becoming over familiar with offenders. That's what they call them, right? And I was like, offenders? What are you talking about? And you know, like, and then she was like, yeah. I think you're becoming over familiar with offenders. You know, you're creating a particular type of relationship that's not cohesive to where you work. I said, well, can you explain? You know, like who you're talking about or what particular situation? She said, yeah, I just happened to be in the courthouse earlier. And when I, you know, like, and when I saw you, you know, like you was giving, you know, what do you call it, dap? You know, it was a middle-aged white lady. You know, like she was like, you was giving, what do you call it, dap or a handshake to one of the offenders. I said, he's not an offender. He ain't never been in trouble his whole life. She was like, what? I said, yeah, that's one of my best friends that I grew up with. You know, I said, so why would you think he's offended?
Sure.
Right? Yeah. Sure. But that lets you know where people stand at, you know? So, as that goes along, you know, these are the type of things I'm dealing with on a daily basis. You know, like I've been here long enough that damn near everybody who walks in the office, I know them. Like, not know them like, oh yeah, I seen you in passing. I know them, right? So, who wants that guy there? You know? But as the tables turn, like I always say, it's not my plan, it's God's plan. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, I got charged with creating like a racketeer. They said I had like little people working for me and stuff like that, you know, and we were breaking in all the houses in Cumberland County, you know, like this is what they said. But anybody who knows me know that that's not my formula. Right. Now I can honestly say, this is me being honest, if we're talking about a dispute for $1 million, I could be involved in that. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like petty stuff, you know, like if we're not talking, man, 100,000 can't even get me to shake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and that's me, and I know 100 can get a lot of people to shake, but it won't get me to shake and risk my life, my livelihood, and my family. That's not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like 100,000, I don't even see that making me to like what is this, June now?
Yeah.
I can't even see that taking me past next June.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
100,000.
Yeah.
Nowadays, maybe back in the day, but nowadays, no.
But I mean, but it's still a lot of money, so I can't disrespect it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because on paper I can say that I don't make 100,000.
We wish we had that now.
Right.
Legally.
Even the Fayetteville Police Department, like, you know, like everybody is not solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when that situation was going on, you know, like the Fayetteville Police Department, I remember it's just like it was yesterday. I wake up in the morning. This was after I quit because people think I got fired, right? So I quit probation and parole, right? So a week later, I get an anonymous call. Let me just say an anonymous call because the person didn't want to tell me who they were, right? They said, Rob, the Fayetteville Police Department is coming to arrest you. I said, arrest me? For what? They saying that you got a racketeer of blah, 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 so forth and so on. I know they coming, Rob. So I said, okay. I got off the phone. I called my attorney. My attorney is Ron Crosby. I'm telling you, he the best in the 2-6, period.
Shout out to the plug.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, I need to do a public service announcement. If you have a problem, contact Ron Crosby. Right? Crosby Law Firm is right downtown, right across the street from the courthouse. But Crosby is my dog. So I called him on the phone. I said, Crosby, I just got a call that that the Fayetteville Police Department is coming to arrest me. He said, man, no, they're not. I said, well, I just got a call. I said, you know, I don't know how legitimate it is or how legitimate it's not, but that's what they said. So we put little different things in order. The next day, I'm taking my youngest to daycare. So I hop in the car. My wife goes to work. I'm taking my youngest to the daycare. I get back because right now I'm not working. I used to, at this particular time, I was sitting in the house every day reading the Bible. Nobody knew. You know what I'm saying? So I was sitting in the house reading the Bible, and that's not a lie. Nobody knew that I used to do stuff like that, right? So I pulled back home, boom. Because I knew they was coming, I parked my car in the garage, right? But then I was like, oh man, I ain't shook. So I backed my car out of the garage, closed the garage, walked in the house. There's no lie. Like, it was about, let's say, in between 25 and 30 police officers surround my house, right?
Man, you gonna steal some jewelry from Fayetteville? Listen, what they said, they surrounded my house. There's no lie.
Sound
like somebody stole $1 million.
Like I'm John Gotti, man. Like I ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like image is everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they surrounded my house, and they was banging on the door, and I was in my room. They was banging on the door, and I'm not going front. I was a T-bit shook. So I get on the phone. Boom. I call Crosby. This is when, this is around the time. This is 2000. This is like the third iPhone was out. Right, I just remember this because of what they did. I called Crosby. I said, Crosby, they at my door, banging on the door. Should I open the door or not? He said, no, I'll come get you. Right? I said, no, they really banging on the door. He said, go ahead and open the door. He said, just leave me on the phone. Right? So I answered the phone. I answered the door. I got my phone in one hand, and I answered the door with the other hand. They said, can you step outside? I said, Crosby, they telling me to step outside. He said, just go ahead and step outside, Rob. You know, like just set your phone down. So I said, okay. I set my phone down on the table. I had a table in my walkway. I set my phone down on the table. The officer, who's a crooked officer here in Fayetteville, he says, no, put that phone in your pocket.
Oh, he wants to show.
Right, so I put the phone in my pocket.
You want to turn it off?
Nah, he don't want to turn it off because he don't care about that. He wants the information that's on my phone. He wants to see from day to day what I'm doing, who I'm talking to.
Okay.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, like they told me to put my hands behind my back. They never read me no rights or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? They put me in a police car. Now by this time, like I told you, Crosby office is right across the street from the
courthouse,
which is right around the corner from
the jail and the police station.
Exactly. So if it's all like that, then the first place you're supposed to take me is where?
To jail.
Exactly. Yeah, man, I sat over there at the police station for like 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Nobody could figure out where
They had nothing on you.
Right. Like nobody could figure out where I'm at. Crosby calling, my wife panicking, nobody could find me. You know what I'm saying? So then finally,
they were holding you.
But they were in there asking me questions like that don't pertain to what the situation at hand. You know, like they were asking me questions about some of the people who I'd already discussed just now today, you know?
Right.
And, you know, like, and I had to tell them, like, if I'm here about breaking in people's houses in a damn computer,
why am I not in jail?
What are you expecting me to do?
Right.
Why are you asking me about these other individuals then if we're not here for that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I saw that you would hang with such and such and be around such and such. Man, the internet is a motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was legitimately coming in, showing me pictures, and I'm like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, like, if you want to talk to me about this computer or something like that, then that's fine. But if you start asking me how I know such and such and where they get their money from, that's not none of your business. You know, like, what's my relationship with them? That's not none of your business. So they was trying to drag me more. You know, because one of the officers came in and was like, man, you you supposed to be with us, man, and you running with criminals. Like, what do you want? Like, I work here. You know what I'm saying? That ain't my lifestyle. You know, like, but, you know, like, it gets crossed sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But after that, that's what I was getting into when I said, after that, I was sitting at home every day. I went back to reading my Bible. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, I was reading my Bible trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. And you know, like, and I started a lawn care company. I was buying all this different lawn care equipment, had trailers and all type of stuff, and I was going around cutting people's grass, and they was laughing at me. They was making jokes about me on the internet. You know, they was like, oh, bang bang money gang ain't got no money. You know, like, they fucked up. And I remember, like, and I cashed in, and, you know, like, they take a little bit of money out of my check when I was working in probation and parole. They took a little bit of money out of my check, but I ended up getting some money from it. I took that money, bought all that stuff, and was still, you know, I ain't really miss a beat. But at the time, I wasn't making enough money. Money's going out, but I'm not making enough money, right? My father-in-law calls me. This is like maybe 4 months in, you know what I'm saying? My father-in-law calls me and said, hey, man, you want to come work for me? Right, so I'm like, yeah, I mean, I ain't tripping, cool. You know what I'm saying? I was making really less than minimum wage. At the time, with kids, you know, like, well, better yet, let me not say I was making less than minimum wage, but I wasn't making nearly what I was making prior to that, right? So, he was like, yeah, come over here, just do my job, right? So I was like, all right, cool, you know? So I came over there, but I wasn't making a lot of money, you know, I wasn't, but it's a job, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I tell people all the time right now. I tell people all the time, like, it doesn't matter what you do. If you have a family to feed, man, you know, like, word to my mama, if I gotta shovel shit to feed my family, I would. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care nothing about the image or presentation. Like, that's real. Whatever I gotta do to feed my family, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, like, if it's in the realms of what I need to do, you know, like when I say in the realms of what I need to do, if it's in a legal realm, I'm gonna do that. But if it got to go to an illegal realm for me to feed them, and that's my last resort, they will get fed. You know? So I was doing that, you know what I'm saying? So I came over here. I was rocking with that, doing that, you know. And then I started learning everything that he knew. Then I started getting good. Then we started getting nice. And then it was, maybe you should just take the business. Wow. Who falls into, like, my man Jason Cove always says that I'm like one of the luckiest people that he ever met in his life. You know, like, who falls out of a job and gets a business?
Well, I mean, you read the Bible, so it was all there. It showed you.
Man, that's what I think. Yeah. You know, like, I mean, but I can honestly say, like, man, my father-in-law not even the same religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like our bases ain't the same. He just know that he has a daughter that I take care of.
Right.
You know, like, and you know, like when he fought, you know, like he taught me a lot, man. Like I can't never disrespect him. And I've had some disrespectful times with him prior to this.
Who doesn't though? Like,
you know?
I mean, we all go through stuff like that. Though.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fact. I mean, that's a fact. But after all that, then I just started getting nice, and I was just buzzing, and I was doing this, promoting different ways, and making sure. We only came to win. We only came to win, like, you know, like, and then brings us to now. Like, and I'm not, by no means am I the most successful body shop or collision repair center that's here in Fayetteville, you know, but I can tell you that I'm the only black owner. Full-fledged, don't owe nobody nothing. You hear that? You know, like, you know, like, you know, like, you know, I can tell you that, like, I'm the only black-owned collision repair center that does direct repairs for insurance companies. I'm #1 with Allstate in North Carolina, period. I'm a AAA certified repair shop. Insurance. I mean, pick one, man. Like, I work with all of them now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just different. You know, like, but they don't cycle me what they cycle like a Gerber or a Caliber, or, you know, like, they don't cycle that. Like, I'm a young black dude, man. You know, like it's real. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people this all the time. Like, I don't believe that many people can deal with the type of issues that I have to deal with on a regular basis. Like, you know, like, when you own a business, people just think like everything's peachy creamy. Like, you have an account and it's $1 million over in this account.
No, you gotta build that up. It takes people in banks 2 years before they even start looking at you. My high right now is that you're the only black male in Fayetteville in the city that owns his own body shop.
Right. I mean, and let me say it like this: as a direct repair shop for insurance companies.
Yeah.
Right. Shout out to the homie Rick. Rick is around my age. Rick trying to buzz in the same thing. You know, like he's not a direct repair right now, but he buzzing. You know, like, and he trying to do his thing too. You know, like, so me, I ain't out here trying to stop the next black man that's coming through, or the next white man. I ain't trying to stop nobody. You know, like, my main thing is people who doing good business. We want to do business with them. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's how I ended up linking up with Troy from Aces. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I started talking to him. I started talking to him through Kaleem. You know, which Kaleem is another young black man that's the program director of another radio station.
You see how we building?
Yeah.
See how we building bridges? It's all about building bridges, man, and never burn them, man.
Right. And all these cats I knew for a long time, I could have burned them. I didn't know Troy, but come to find out, Troy graduated from the same high school that I went to.
Sure did.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, like, and that's just a fact. Like, like when they had, like when they was doing diamonds and stuff, I never frequented a day club. You know, like, I never really did strip clubs. That ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying? But after that, you know, like, I showed up that night when they had the memorial. You know, I showed up that night when they had the memorial because, I mean, 2-6 is where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a person dies that means something to somebody, you know, like, that was affecting the community, I need to show up.
And he definitely did.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, so then, as she's found me on the internet.
Who?
The other owner of Aces.
Okay. Oh, this brother.
Found me on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, so he found me on the internet, and me and him just started rapping, you know? And then he was like, oh, yeah, man, I see what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, you know, like, they good people.
Yeah, they are. The whole team, man, is good, man. It's all humble.
Yeah. And so let me ask you something. How you like that party? How you like the party we just did?
Like I said, Rockefeller moment there. My thing was that everybody got a bottle. That it was a bottle Bel Air, white bottle.
So hold on. So the next party, you know what it's called?
What's that?
Did Summer 2. You know what the hashtag is? Bringing more bottles. So y'all get that info. Did Summer.
Another plug.
Did Summer Part 2 at Aces of Fayetteville, and it's July 14th. We bringing more bottles.
Yeah.
And y'all might even like these bottles a little bit better than the last bottles. You know, like, you know, we bring in more money.
Right.
Y'all might like this money better than the last money. You know? Yeah, man.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's a team thing with me. Remedy, I put you on every single party
and I love
that, you know, like that I'll do.
Homecoming, everything, man.
Yeah. And watch out for All-Star. You know what I'm saying? All-Star weekend, we gonna do that too.
It's coming.
You know?
So, and guys, it's all not because, hey, I know you, I want to rock. It's all because they see the hard work.
That's right.
He sees hard work, and his father-in-law seen the hard work in him. So that's why he owns the shop. He got the opportunity. You know, so that's one thing I admire is the focus, the tunnel vision. And once you got that,
right,
you're gonna get rewarded every time.
I make posts on Facebook all the time about, you know, like staying focused and keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why the majority of people lose, and I can say lose, but it's not a disrespectful loss. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're just not doing as good as they can because they lack the integrity and they lack the drive. Like, I was watching the thing with 2 Chainz the other day. He said, who you gonna blame for not having ambition?
Yourself.
That's the only person you can blame.
Yourself.
So when people act like they ain't got no money in their pocket, why they ain't got no money in their pocket? You know? I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. Like when people act like, oh, this person over here got a Benz and I only got this.
I've been blaming a lot of my stupidity to myself.
Nah, but it's just an age thing. How old are you now, man?
34.
Right. But a lot of the bad decisions came before 34.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you're not originally from the United States of America.
Right. From Panama. Yeah.
It's a learning process. I noticed, like me and Jason Cole was in a conversation one day about you, right? You know, like, and we were talking about how when you do something, it's from a genuine place. Well, you know, the majority of people that are in the United States of America, when they do a lot of stuff, it's not always coming from a genuine place. It's a one-up type thing. But we knew when you did certain stuff, you was coming from a genuine place. So I have to receive it and accept it as such and spin it back to you from a genuine place. So when I would call you, if you did something on Facebook that I consider to
I'll get that call.
Right. You know, like if you did that and I considered it not to make you look the best, then what I would say, I would give you a call. I would be like, yo, Rim.
That wasn't smooth.
Right.
Bro.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that wasn't smooth.
If you say that you somebody's friend, you ain't checking them like you chumping them,
right,
but you checking them because you care about them. You know, like you checking them because
I've learned that.
You want them to be great.
Yeah, I've learned that.
You know? I mean, so people will do stuff for you, and if you can receive it properly, you know, let me give an example. My man K Cutter, right? He thinks that he can check every single solitary situation, like, but he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Like, what they see on the internet ain't what I know of him. But if that's how he decides to act on the internet, that's good. But he's a genuine good dude. When he talks or pops his trash, it's coming from a genuine place. But most people can't receive it because they so worried about the image of what they look like to the people. Like, I don't care about what we look like to the people. What I look like to my daughter, what I look like to my sons, what I look like to my wife, what I look like to the people who love me, what I look like to the people who I do business with. That's what's important to me.
Yeah. Like with my daughter and everything now, just personally, with my kids, and if I'm, you know, cause I ain't gonna lie, I was being a thought. And that's just my thing, and I put it out there now because that's been my weakness. But I got 3 kids now.
Well, I mean, let me stop.
And especially my daughter's 12.
Hold on, dudes can't be thoughts, bro.
I'm just saying. Thoughts. I was doing thottish things.
Hey man, nah, man,
but I'm not a thought. Yeah, tickler. All right.
You know what I'm saying? We gotta add something with.
So I say a male thought. All right, but my daughter's 12.
Right.
And thank God she's now in the AB honor roll. I'm so proud. And for her to keep seeing me from 1 to 1, I thought my last one was gonna be that's it. And you know, that's why I wanted her to see. But now that that's not it, you know, I have to be like, I can't just jump into another relationship. I can't just.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Because what my son gonna see, or what my daughter gonna see, and then in the future, what my newborn gonna see. My daughter, like I said, I have to be able to, I teach her in my best way, because it might not be perfect going out in the future, but I want to make sure that she knows the good guys from the bad.
Right,
That's
yeah.
it.
I mean, but it's just one of those things, like what I'm learning, learning with my sons and daughters. We gotta allow for them to be able to make their decisions, whether it's good or bad. But
yeah.
But like you said, we just gotta give them a good image.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like a good image that my daughter looks at and says, if I deal with a male, this male should treat me like this.
Like my dad, yeah.
Right?
My dad.
Or my sons. If I'm gonna be pursuing a female, then I need to pursue a female that's similar to my mother and how she handles stuff, because she's a good woman.
Absolutely.
And I need to be like my father, because at the age that I am now, because I wasn't always this way, you know, at the age that I am now, I produce good content and good things around me, and I'm gonna keep it positive.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
You know?
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. All right, so man, guys, as you can see these cars. Look at this.
Oh, they all right.
The Range Rover. I personally like the Range Rover because I like the rims on it. Yeah. And look at this one.
Hey, this is actually my favorite car.
Look at that one.
Like,
Look at that one. Can they see the emblem on that? Just to make sure they know that this is not no type of Jetta. That is a Benz, Mercedes. Nice. Nice.
I mean, to me, the main thing is, like, you know, like if we talk about cars, like, I like that when I can fit my whole family in here. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can fit my whole family in there. That's when I'm shooting around, not thoughting like Remedy said, you know, but I'm shooting around and it's only me. You know? I mean, but these cars, like, you know, I discuss it on Facebook all the time. These cars, clothes, jewelry, it don't really mean much if your bases ain't good. Mm-hmm. You know, like if your bases ain't good, if you're not solid in a foundation in a higher power, if you're not solid in a foundation with what you got going on at home. Like, while I'm here rapping with you, it's a weekday, and it's going into, you know, a latter part of the evening, and I have children. My wife is solid. She's at home, you know, making sure she fixes dinner, making sure that she finishes the homework, you know, like, I mean, you gotta have a good, solid foundation, you know?
You do.
You know, like, and I think I got a dope foundation.
That's what's up. Well, okay, man, so before we get up out of here, man, plug in all your social medias and where they can find you at if they ever have a problem, they ever get into a car accident, or they get into a car accident on their own, they hit a tree or their house.
Well, listen, for the car accident side of things, it's the new Classic Paint and Body and ink. That's on Facebook. You know, you can follow that on social media, right? Now, for the finer things in life, you know, if you want to follow me, my name is Robb Barber, because I don't got an AKA. It's just me. Robb Barber on Facebook, the big homie Rob on Instagram, or you can follow my team, the Infamous Money Gang. That's on IG, you know, or you can follow the Money Gang on Facebook. You know, man, we just here, man. We just here. We showing love, and we doing things that probably needed to be done a long time ago. Now, let me say this: we ain't no better. We just different. And that's what the Infamous Money Gang is. We not better than nobody that's out here. We just different. More chains coming and more bottles coming very, very soon. Stay tuned.
This is a movement, people, of what's going on, man. So, Raw Remedy Podcast. Make sure you catch us on all social medias. Also, this video will be up on our YouTube page. Fox99.com for the audio for all my people on the road or traveling or in the gym, whatever. Also, social media, Raw Remedy on Instagram and Facebook at the Panamanian Prince. Okay, we out.
Peace.